There are moments in public life that feel routine. Carefully planned speeches, polite applause, measured words. And then, there are moments that feel different. Moments when the script seems to fade, when composure gives way to something more human. That's exactly what happened when Prince William stepped forward to speak, and what followed were words that no one expected, yet everyone needed to hear. The room was silent, the atmosphere heavy. Cameras flashed, but this time it wasn't about ceremony or tradition. It was about something deeply personal, something heartfelt. And when he began to speak, you could hear it in his voice. A pause, a breath, a shift in tone. These weren't just royal remarks. They were emotional words that touched millions. Tonight, we're taking you inside that unforgettable moment. What he said, why it mattered, and why people across the world are still talking about it. Because sometimes leadership isn't about power, it's about vulnerability. Prince William has attended thousands of engagements throughout his life. From childhood walkabouts to major state events, he has grown up in front of the world. But this appearance felt different. Observers noticed it immediately. A quieter demeanor, a reflective posture, an intensity in his eyes that suggested something deeper was on his mind. This wasn't just another public duty. This was personal. As he approached the podium, there was a visible weight to the moment. Supporters gathered outside sensed it too. Conversations softened. Anticipation grew. And then he began. "I've learned," he said slowly, "that strength doesn't always look the way we expect it to." It was a simple sentence, but it carried meaning. He spoke about resilience, about the unseen struggles people carry, about families facing challenges quietly, bravely. And then came the words that truly struck a chord. We all go through moments that test us. What matters most is how we show up for one another. It wasn't political. It wasn't ceremonial. It was human. And that's why it mattered. Those who have followed Prince William's life understand that public service has always been intertwined with personal experience. Growing up under intense public scrutiny shaped him. Responsibility came early. Expectations came even earlier. Yet in this speech, there was no sense of performance. Instead, there was reflection. He acknowledged the pressures of modern life, the emotional toll many face behind closed doors, the importance of compassion. At times, he continued, it can feel overwhelming, but reaching out, even when it's difficult, can make all the difference. The audience listened in complete stillness, because these weren't distant words, they were relatable. In today's fast-paced world, authenticity stands out, and this moment felt authentic. Social media lit up shortly after. Clips of the speech spread rapidly. Viewers commented on his tone, steady but emotional, composed yet deeply sincere. Many said the message felt timely. Others said it felt comforting. Some said it felt like permission to acknowledge vulnerability without shame. And perhaps that's what made it powerful. He wasn't just speaking as a royal figure. He was speaking as a son, a father, a husband, a human being. Public service at its best is about connection, and this moment strengthened that connection. Prince William has long championed causes focused on mental health, community support, and family resilience. But in this speech, those themes weren't policy points. They were lived experiences. He reminded listeners that kindness matters, that small gestures matter, that showing up matters. And sometimes the most powerful words are the simplest ones. You are not alone. 3 words, but for many, they meant everything. Across the UK and beyond, people responded emotionally. Commentators described the speech as one of his most heartfelt to date. Supporters praised the honesty. Critics, even those often skeptical, acknowledged the sincerity of the moment. What stood out wasn't grandeur. It was grace. The grace to speak openly. The grace to acknowledge difficulty. The grace to lead with empathy. Every public figure experiences defining moments, times when words transcend headlines and become something more lasting. This was one of them, because in a world often dominated by noise, this moment felt quiet but powerful, measured but meaningful, and above all, genuine. Beyond the emotional resonance, the message carried something universal. Life is challenging. People struggle silently. Connection heals. Compassion strengthens communities. These aren't revolutionary ideas, but hearing them expressed sincerely, especially from someone in such a visible role, carries weight. It sends a signal that vulnerability is not weakness, that empathy is strength. Moments like this shape public perception. They deepen trust. They humanize leadership. For Prince William, this speech may well mark a shift, not in duty, but in tone. A continuation of service rooted not only in tradition, but in emotional intelligence. And perhaps that's what resonated most. Not perfection, not performance, but presence. Long after the applause faded, the words lingered. Because when someone speaks from the heart, it echoes. Prince William didn't deliver a dramatic announcement. He didn't unveil sweeping changes. He offered something quieter, something rarer. He offered honesty, and in doing so, he reminded millions of something simple yet profound. We are stronger together. And sometimes, the bravest thing we can do is speak openly. Fade out, music swells, and the message remains. As the applause faded and cameras slowly lowered, one thing was clear. This wasn't just another royal appearance. Prince William's words lingered in the hearts of everyone watching, quietly but powerfully reminding us all that even those who carry immense responsibility face moments of struggle, doubt, and vulnerability. In a world where so much is hidden behind carefully curated images and headlines, his honesty was a rare gift, a reminder that strength isn't measured by perfection or by never faltering, but by the courage to acknowledge pain, to reach out, and to show compassion. Millions have seen the headlines, but few truly felt the depth of this moment. He spoke not as a prince or a public figure, but as a son, a husband, and a father. Someone who understands the weight of responsibility, the fragility of life, and the power of empathy. For families dealing with challenges, for individuals facing silent battles, his words offered solace. They said, "You are seen, you are heard, you are not alone." And that is the enduring power of this moment. It reminds us that leadership can be gentle, that courage can be quiet, and that vulnerability can inspire more than bravado ever could. As we reflect on his message, we are challenged to do the same in our own lives, to be present, to listen, to support, and to connect with one another with kindness. This was more than a speech. It was a moment of humanity, a ripple of hope, a reminder that even in the most difficult times, empathy, compassion, and love can change the way we see the world and each other. If this moment touched you as deeply as it did millions around the world, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Every like is a small way to show that we notice the power of honesty and compassion. Every comment is a chance to connect, to share your own story, your own struggles, your own moments of resilience. Prince William's words remind us that we are never truly alone, and by opening up, we create a space where others can do the same. So take a moment, hit that like button if his message of empathy and courage resonated with you. Drop a comment to tell us what this speech meant to you, your reflections, your emotions, your thoughts. And most importantly, share this video with someone who might need to hear these words today. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or someone going through a tough time, your share could be the comfort they didn't know they needed. Moments like this don't just happen every day. They remind us that kindness matters, that vulnerability is strength, and that together we can support each other through life's challenges. Let's honor this message by spreading it far and wide, because every word of compassion deserves to be heard.